Hello, this is my Business 340 internship presentation for the fall 2024 semester. A little bit about myself. My name is Colton Watson. I am majoring in business administration. I am originally from Michigan in the Ann Arbor area. My hobbies include fishing and weightlifting, and I compete in amateur strongman. The sponsor I did my internship through was AutoZone. It is an auto parts retail store. I've been employed at this company for 5 years. I decided to also use it as my internship and try to use it as an excuse to get more management training and try to go up into the next level within this company. My supervisor, my store manager, Tina, our mission statement is for more than 43 years, AutoZone has been committed to providing the best parts, prices, and customer service in the automotive aftermarket industry. We have a rich culture and history of going the extra mile for our customers and our community. What I did, so the bulk of my job was revolved around assisting customers since it is a retail store and it is very customer service oriented. So I would spend most of my days working, helping the customer that walks in, helps them find a part that they're looking for, give them advice, point them in the direction of something in the store. I would sometimes check batteries if somebody's having a battery issue. I would also change out some batteries. If the battery I tested turned out to be bad, I would swap it out for them in the parking lot with our store tools. I would also scan check engine light codes, and I would tell the customer what the code is, what it means, uh, let them know what part our machine is recommending that they need to replace. I will give them sometimes a quote on the part. They are very mechanically talented. I would point them in the direction of a shop that I would trust for them to get the service done there. I would also change out light bulbs. I would change out wiper blades. I would do I would answer the phones, and if I'm not doing all that, I will sometimes deliver parts to the auto shops around us. So AutoZone is basically divided into like two different departments in each store. There's a DIY department and the commercial department. The DIY department is, do it yourself customers, the people who come in to purchase a part to go back home to fix their cars themselves, or they're just looking for like an additive for like something like seafoam or Lucas, or they just need a wiper blade or a light bulb. That's usually handled on the DIY side. The commercial side is the dealerships and shops around our store will put in online orders, or they'll call the store looking for price and availability on a certain part. And we would either just process the online order, gather up the parts, deliver the parts to the shops, get a signature from them. Sometimes we gotta take back some returns, but sometimes we don't. Or if they call the store, we'll give them price and availability. If they're able to sell it to the customer, then they'll buy it from us and we'll send it down to them. If they can't, then they just we just wait for them to put in another call or another order. I would also complete store tax. So the store tax that I had to complete usually revolved around taking out the trash, sweeping the floors, mopping the floors, front facing, doing planograms, doing cycle counts to keep our inventory up to date. I sometimes have to, change out the window signs, so those change every quarter. I actually just did that about a week ago because we started our third quarter, I believe. So we had new window signs and new sales hit the floors. And for the planograms, it's usually just I have to retag a certain section of the store, then reorganize it based on where things move within that section. On the weekends, on Sundays, usually I have to do price changes and label changes, which is when the computer generates a list of prices and labels that need to be changed on the products that we keep on the floor. Those usually don't take too long for me to complete. So we do that weekly as well as daily. We have to run our overstock report, which is a report the computer prints out for us where we have to go into the back, grab our excess product, and put it back on the shelves to make sure our shelves stay stocked. I would also help train newly hired employees. So we've recently hired two new people, and I've assisted my managers in training them both because, for one, it will take one obligation away from my manager. There's less things that they have to juggle within the store with all the other tasks that they have to work on. For two, because I already know what I'm doing. I know the store very well. I know the job very well. I can kind of show them the easiest way to do certain things. And I would show them how to properly use our system, cash out our customers. I would, teach them how to properly answer the phone, how to look up warranty files, look up parts, how to process returns, all like kind of the basic stuff that I've been doing for a long time through working through this company. And I try to do my best to help them get very good at it. I will also sometimes run the commercial department. So that will insist of me basically doing the same thing I do on DIY, but for the shops locally. So I would answer the commercial phone, process the orders, get my drivers on the road by gathering up the parts. I would sometimes have to call other stores to find certain parts and send my drivers there to go pick them up to take to the shops. And I'll also work on putting away our store stock. So we'll get our truck order in once a week, which is a big order of various parts and products that we get that we've either sold a good amount of throughout the week, or we think we're going to sell a lot of them in the future. So they send us a lot more. So I just spend, a few hours when we get that in, just putting everything away. For my learning experience, I learned a lot about leadership. So leadership is the action of leading a group or of people or an organization. My manager practices a laissez-faire style of leadership, so that is leaves most decision up to the employees, particularly those concerning day-to-day matters. I learned that in my business one-on-one class. So my manager will usually, if we have a list of stuff that needs to get done, she'll just let me pick what I want to do for that day, and then she'll either have somebody else do another task or she'll do another task, and we'll all just be working on something and get something done at the same time. So it works out very well for us. It is definitely the style I would like to practice being in a leadership position. Also, I've seen my manager practice consideration with her employees as the extent to which a leader is friendly, approachable, supportive, and shows concern. I learned this in our Business 203 class, Manager Concepts here. If I ever have a problem in the store, I know I can go to my boss and she can help me resolve it very easily, very quickly. She's very friendly. She's so easy to work with and understanding of things. So I really appreciate that for her. That's something I strive to be if I get into a leadership position soon. Initiating structure, the degree to which a leader structures the roles of his or her followers by setting goals, giving direction, setting deadlines, and assigning tasks. So she doesn't really set deadlines for us, but she does give us some structure. She will assign tasks for us basically by scheduling us a certain way. The only time she really sets a deadline is when her bosses set a deadline for her. And then, yeah, she'll kind of pound us and make sure we get it done at a reasonable time. Another thing is she trusts her employees, which is very good. She trusts us that when there's work to get done, we will get it done and we will get it done very efficiently, which is great because she doesn't have to micromanage us. She just lets us do our work. We get in, we get our tax done, and then we can clock out and go home and we can do it all the next day. Planning. So planning, determining organizational goals and a means for achieving them. I learned this again in Business 203. So like I mentioned previously, she structures her weeks based on the scheduling, and she will schedule us at certain times of the day to do certain things. So that's kind of how she plans to get any tasks done around the store that needs to get done. I've been scheduled for short shifts in the middle of the day, and that is strictly just so I can come in, do price changes, or do label changes, or do planograms, or a cycle count, or any task that needs to get done very soon. She'll overschedule people certain days. Like we'll have every single employee at the store on a singular day. And that's so we have somebody running commercial, a driver, somebody washing the counters, usually one or two people washing the counters, everybody else is working on store tasks. And we're able to get stuff done a lot faster that way, and it's very efficient for us. And then job satisfaction is attitude reflecting a person's positive and negative feelings toward the job, coworkers, and work environment. So how my manager leads us has resulted in me having a positive job satisfaction where I work. I have nothing bad to say about how my manager manages the entire crew. I think she does a great job. I think she makes working there a lot better than what it could be. I think she's one of the better managers I've ever worked with, and I would strive to be like her when I get into a leadership position of my own. So my personal views overall, I really enjoy my time working for this organization. I've worked with some great people. It's taught me leadership skills to take with me to other employers. Overall, honestly, I've really enjoyed working with the entire group that I work with at this store. I think everybody there pulls their own weight. I think everybody's great to get along with. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and we all play to those. So that means we all work on different things at a time, and we're able to get things done at a reasonable time. And we all have fun and crack jokes while we do it. So I think it's a great working environment. I think it's organized very well. I think it is a positive attitude out of everybody there. And all the leadership skills I mentioned earlier through watching my manager are something that I'm going to take with me into every other job I have if I'm ever in another leadership position or get the opportunity to be in a leadership position. And thank you for your time.